up session.
All right, we're recording.
So as Nameless has told you before, after you gave him the bark of Yggdrasil, he mentions if you are looking for runes, I suggest going to Avil. Avil is quite good with runes and runic inscribing. Very large hands, but quite delicate to the touch.
There's an eyebrow raised.
Yes. Yes? More questions than that?
No, just odd word choice, I suppose.
I'm a small elf in a wheelchair. More often than not, he or Honey has lifted me off the ground.
That doesn't mean you have to specify anything. He's just good with
They
his
were
words.
very delicate with me.
He's
They were
just
very
good.
delicate with me.
Two elves bickering of just like, don't be rude. I'm not being rude. I'm being honest.
You have room to talk, dragon fucker? Doesn't actually say that. I cannot stress this enough. Nameless does not say that.
That's funny though. That's good. Oh, isn't it more akin to are you one to talk here, motherfucker? Champion of a Titan?
Champion of the Titan, 5'5", fucking someone 7 feet tall.
There.
How you holding up there? How's a banana, gerbil? Yeah, what I thought.
You're gonna hurt myself laughing. Shut up.
You still hurt yourself laughing. I'm sorry.
How's Agate holding up to this, like, sort of elven bickering? Just, you don't have to be so rude about it kind of mentality. Just like, I'm not being rude, he's being delicate with me. I didn't say anything mean. It's like, yeah, but you pointed out the fact that he has large hands. That doesn't mean anything. Like, that back and forth?
You pointed out his large hands. He's a giant!
Something he can't change!
It would be stranger if he had small hands.
Well,
Exactly.
no, there actually is a giant that does frequent this place. We call him Small Hands because he has quite small hands. And small feet. He got cursed by a witch. It was really bad.
Oh boy. Still things that they can't change.
Yes. Well, actually, the curse can be changed. We just haven't found the resources for it yet. Not important, but Avil is in his shop. If you wish to know more about runes and rune inscribing, go to him. He'll know. He can... I believe he may have a pair of eyewear that can sort of identify runes specifically.
Very well. And Orlain holds out a hand of, like, handshake.
Shakes his hand.
It's nice to meet you.
To you, Orlain.
Oh, I won't hold you up any longer. You're probably curious about what I gave you.
Today can wait until after. Very curious. If you are to visit anyone after Avil, I would avoid visiting her or them, to be correct.
Who?
Hold on. I fucked up a little bit. The town priest. Oh, yes.
What? What? You know what? Never mind. I'll just avoid them.
They are a lot. They're not a bad person by any means of the phrase, but they're a lot.
Well, yes, anybody who claims themselves a priest in this day and age often is.
No, they have a goddess, I believe it is.
Humor me.
It's such a. Hold on one moment. Their name is Terra. They are a priest or priestess of a minor deity called Yuki.
No scrunch. Again with this.
What's up?
My other teammates, they said they've met this Yuki figure before.
Would it would it have possibly been from and do understand it's fine if it wasn't. Would it have been from someone would they have met them in a garden of sorts?
Supposedly, yes. Every time I'm not around, supposedly this person shows up or leads them to some garden. Feels awfully
Yes.
inconvenient for me to not have proof of a quote unquote, and he does like quote unquote air quotes, a good
Yeah.
goddess.
I find it more rare that it's a goddess in general. Hmm. That's not good.
What's up?
Uh, Nothing yet. My lights just blinked twice, and so did my AC unit that's just over here. So
Mm-hmm.
I do hear it raining. If I vanish and don't immediately pop on from my phone, that would be a session called because of weather. But going forward, let's continue.
But Orlain does shrug of yeah, it's apparently, and this is the kicker. Apparently, Yuki is just a delight.
Well, that's. I do not know much. I tend to stay away from anything that claims to be a deity or deific role.
I try to do the same. They seem to seek me out, whether it's good or bad. So I'll get out of your hair before I upset you.
All right, I will see you later and converse with you whenever you are free, friend.
Of course. And so it's head out. Agate.
Yes. What do you have against gods?
Well, we can talk about that on the way out. But primarily, they're trying to kill me, us, and just heads out.
Hmm.
In what way?
Um, they use most people. Yes, we haven't given you this rundown, have we? I think I might have given you a general consensus of what has happened, but they, before all this, before being on the run, um, they have used a lot of people repetitively as, oh, how did I describe it a long time ago? Uh, the best blowjob you'll never experience. Yes?
Ill?
Yeah, it's not great. More, we tend to compare it to juice boxes at this point.
A better analogy, I suppose.
I was not a very smart person before. More thinking with a different kind of head.
So is this everyone that gets treated like a juice box?
Yes. Well, there's some exceptions, I believe, or fringe cases, if I recall correctly.
Sounds like it sucks.
It does.
Or
No, you're right. Admittedly, I believe my team now, this current one, with everyone that we have so far. Bless it that I don't have to see another replacement. Um, for the most part, it's kind of the subject of the matter that, well, in a manner of speaking, I've never been through the whole thing aside from the beginning when I was young. This is me. This is, yes, that sounds confusing. It's less. He clicks his tongue. He doesn't know how to explain this one without being excessively fucked up, and he doesn't want to get into that while there's people walking by. Like, and
well, I
just,
would hope that you are you.
yes, but here's the problem with that, and turns to face Agate while outside of this dude's domain of the archway. Um, and just, here's the thing
This
about
is a
that.
drunk man.
Yes.
I'll remind you, this guy is drunk, so he's just like leaning on the pillar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's how do you explain while walking with your back turned the most fucked up thing in existence? No, he's gonna stop and turn to Agate and go, so technically, from what I've been told in the cycle, yes, you've when you are killed or you reach a certain rank or something like that, I don't know the specifics, it's just at a certain point, good or bad, you are put through again, and you don't really recall much, if anything at all. And I never went through that. I am me. I didn't lose any memories, or not the ones from this cycle. I think I've managed to make some people mad with that regard.
I can see how that would make some people upset.
Yes, including some old allies and recent enemies, I suppose. And just goes to try and step around the drunkard. Just
No. Oh, hello. He kind of does move around a little bit, stumbles to hug the pillar rather than lean on it.
thank you, lad, and just keeps moving.
Shouldn't
But
we get this guy some water or something?
I don't know if it'll help from what I've observed. Plus, I'm
I
not
mean, you'd
one
be
to talk.
Why not?
Uh,
You're talking right now.
great, wonderful. Is this just going to be a thing we have to do every so often?
What?
Sassing me when I'm trying to be serious?
I was I sassing you?
Ferns stares at him,
Just the most confused puppy dog eyes.
turns around, keeps walking. Do I see like the upstairs garden?
Yes, it is a balcony. It is
Mm-hmm.
a garden balcony. It kind of, from the layout it is right now, I'll use this little pointer right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the layout of the house initially. Like this first floor, you can tell it's kind of there, but as you go out, you realize it's kind of more akin to here's the balcony, and then it kind of dips in to about these pillars, and then it goes out a little.
Mm-hmm.
to where everything kind of fits in. I will also say that this door again is closed.
Mm-hmm.
But you do see the balcony and all its little flowers and growths.
Are there any recognizable ones?
Roll me a nature check.
An intelligence score roll for Orlain. No, this is gonna be funny. I feel like Mace laughing before an outburst. Every time I make that noise.
1d6. And it'll be 1d6 every time you do.
No! I don't have a D6. Dying.
I'm sorry, did you say you don't have the most common dice ever produced?
I have the oldest
Reference.
set of dice known to man, bro. It comes pre with the other dice. Everyone has a d6. I don't know what to tell you, man. I got a d6.
Go
have a
break
D-
out your Monopoly game and get those D6.
My
You at
Monopoly
least
has
have a
d12.
D4. What kind of?
Why the fuck
That-
does your Monopoly have a D12?
That
Because
actually
it
sounds
didn't
like a
have
really.
d6s. It just had one
How the fuck are you
d12.
gonna go to jail then?
I don't.
How do you know you're gonna roll again with doubles?
I don't.
That's some shit Monopoly.
It's called nepotism. And we're killing the. Oh no. Oh no. And Ren.
18, you bit.
18. Yes, you notice a couple lilies, kind of white lily flowers, kind of leaning off of the grassy balcony edge. But other than that, that's not much you can see. Those seem to be a cavern-based flower, as you do notice that this place is kind of near the edge where it would be leaned up against one of the actual arches. So it is calm. It is sort of like maybe these are put here, so it's growing here because all that may be up there are just cavern flowers.
So,
I can't say
the
that word.
the only white lily, this is me talking, the only white lily I can remember are calla lilies. It's not a bad thing. I think calla lilies are sea based.
Madonna lilies.
Ooh, I love her music.
And you're muted. No, not yet.
Oh wait,
Too early.
sorry. I thought.
I think Madonna lilies are just white lilies.
Yeah, Madonna lilies are in fact white lilies, but they're a different shape. They're star shaped versus a bell shape. Um, and they do grow basically anywhere you put them. So
Okay, so yeah, it's a set of Madonna lilies.
there's just a stare for a second from Orlain. And it's just like, huh.
Did you see
Interesting.
something interesting
A little bit, yes. I believe,
up there?
yes, I believe the resident runesmith is a gardener.
How is that interesting?
Uh, I believe they correlate. At the very least, they require delicate touches. And walks up to the door and knocks.
You ting 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 because it is a full metal door.
Hmm.
There's just a pause. Thump, 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 thump. and slowly you feel something standing on the other side of the door. Who is it?
Pizza delivery.
Agate!
Yeah.
Travelers.
Pizza. Of
Travelers. We were told you knew stuff about runes.
course I know about runes. I'm a rune crafter.
You can feel the ... of how do I proceed. I'm new to runes.
Alright.
I would very much not like a repeat of a previous incident with something I enchanted.
Did it blow up in your face?
Pardon?
The
Did it blow up?
door. Yeah, go ahead.
Did it blow up in your face?
No. Turns, steps away from the door instinctively, just, no, it didn't blow up in my face. It actually, threatened to take off both of the feet of the wearer. Apparently I did the directions of the runes wrong. And that was
The
when I
door
was
begins to
supposed to know.
open, and you, as the door does open, there was you see just like this large white kind of maybe as best you can describe. You know, it's not cloth, but it is a white form of some sort of t-shirt, and large overalls that you know for a fact are denim.
Mm.
God damn you. Dane's Dane said, riveting conversationalist, this rune smith. It's,
I just got it.
yes, rivets. Funny. But you see their hands are quite almost, the sleeves are rolled up to the elbows. There is kind of these silver rings along the fingers, each one. The head is too tall for the door, so you just kind of see the tattooed neck and chin with these gold kind of bangles around their neck. If you're improperly reading these runes, then they're gonna do a lot worse than take someone's feet.
Hence why I'm trying to study. And I thought you would be able to at least give me direction on the matter.
Magic with them?
Repeat that?
Were you trying to use magic with them? What were you doing?
I was making a pair of, enchanted boots, yes.
How were you enchanting them?
It's kind of a blur. I was told I was up all night.
Enchantments can be difficult, but if done correctly, not that difficult. How are you enchanting them?
Inscribing the runes myself in filigree, I suppose. Old habits die hard.
Were you channeling magic or mana?
What?
Were you channeling magic or mana?
There's a difference?
A hat. One of these ringed hands grabs the top of the door, and you see him lean down to look you in the eyes with this really what's the
I,
number type look.
uh, I'm really, really new to magic. At all.
obviously.
Apparently new to smithing as well. And he moves to the side.
Not smithing. I've seen it from an outside point of view.
If you can look at a shield being made, doesn't mean you can forge a good one.
I suppose.
A good smith can use a wooden shield to block a steel cannon. A bad smith can use an orichalcum shield and lose to an arrow. Close the door behind you. Please hurry up before I close it.
Sorry. Just steps in. Agate, are you joining us?
I'll catch up.
All right. Does close the door behind him with the look of "Don't get into trouble."
Uh, Immediately, Avil. What are you doing, Agate? Actually, before I say what Avil does.
Just gonna look for the temple or wherever the priest might be.
Take your time, but go ahead and I'll say that while they're having this conversation, move your token to Rook's token because he's at the temple. Right here.
Ah, down
Oh,
there.
he's suffering. Good luck, my guy.
Oh yeah. He literally saw somebody who was like, "We fought before. You hurt. I'm gonna walk away from this, and you fucking flamboyant motherfucker. I don't have anything against people who are flamboyant. I have a thing against your flamboyant ass." So just go ahead and move your token down there to Rook's. In the meantime, Avil stares at you. You
Mhm.
don't know the difference between mana and magic.
Not really. No. Obviously, still druid.
He moves over to here, and he kind of clicks something about right here-ish, and you see these doors kind of open up to a portal, and he whoop, walks in. As you do take in notice, with the appearance of this portal, there are no stairs leading up.
Huh. Just an outward acknowledgement of neat. And he has no reason to distrust anybody in this place, though his paranoia is screaming that something's gonna happen because of all the eldritch nonsense he's been through recently. It just steps through anywhere.
Magic is metal. And he kind of reaches underneath this contraption and pulls out a large iron ingot. Slides it over to you. How do you shape metal?
You heat it up, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Runes. With tools like runes, wands, books, bloodlines, all that. Magic is metal. The instruments that form magic to its will are a part of it. Inscribing runes with magic rather than mana is possible, but if it's done by anyone with lesser crafting experience, can be dangerous. If you use
Thankfully,
mana,
all right. Just the I'm about the like vocal tone of I can explain what I said meant, but also this is an explanation to just continue, kind of.
mana is. And he pulls something out. Pulls out a sword. Mana Doesn't need to be forged. Doesn't need to be molded. It's got its shape. If you want to go a more basic instance, he points behind you. Mana is fire. One is solid, cold. He motions to the ingot. Can be forged and molded with instruments and other types of heat. The other is heat. An element. Unchanging unless interrupted or altered.
I
I like the
see.
sword analogy more because it proves a point.
All right.
They come from the same power source, same origin, but different experiences. Mana is special.
He thinks for a moment and takes out his journal from the from one of his side not pouches, but like not quite a bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's designed specifically for like a couple of things, and that's it. Kind of, kind of item carrying, and
Yeah.
just takes out one of his journals, flips it open to an empty page, and uh, takes out the not. It's not a pen. I don't think he has a pen. That's illegal.
Does that motherfucker have a quill?
Yeah.
Okay, so you pull out your book and your quill.
Mhm. And just bullet point notes a bunch of what's been said already. I feel like is it aval or invol? Because last time he said invol.
It's in NPC.
Mhm.
In apostrophe VIL. Invol.
Mhm.
It sounds like evol if I'm speaking too fast, but it is invol.
Mhm.
Like anvil, but without the A and there's an apostrophe. Because grammatics are wild.
Mhm. He's
So
just
it is
taking
invol.
notes.
So you're taking notes. And he kind of lets you take the notes. He's like, not going to interrupt you.
So, and he speaks up after like a minute of basically what I do of have the bullet points, make notes on the side. He's basically annotating his own work. Um, and just so one doesn't need a shape, one can be shaped, yes?
Magic can be shaped, yes. It can also be altered because magic is metal. And then he reaches down again, pulls out a gold ingot. And there's many types of metals. And I've got to say this real quick. Nia, you've connected two dots that were already aligned. But Vol kind of takes the moment and lets you write that down
Mm-hmm.
before explaining. Mana can't be changed. It can be extinguished, but it can't be changed. He kind of
So,
moves over
so what
to
is
one of
it?
these. Moves it over to one of this box he has, pushes it down and starts rummaging around for something. Like he pushes this top lid down and starts rummaging around.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls out instead of just one frame of like the full glass frame of glasses
Mm-hmm.
and comes back, sets them down gently. Put those on.
Okay. Puts the quill in the book to make sure if he doesn't lose his page, and closes it for a moment to set it aside, and picks up the glasses to put them on.
Do you attune to them? It has a chance for instant attunement, but do you attune to them?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you would take the moment to attune them instantaneously, you're kind of connected to these glasses now. You look at Invol and you see something different about him.
Mm-hmm.
A purple and black flame kind of peers off of his arms and up to his shoulders, and it kind of remains there, kind of converging, if it does have to converge somewhere within your sight where his heart would be. Mana is in places. Wherever your mana is, it has a color, a shape. For me, it's. I mold things. I don't get burned.
Hmm. Just in like a hum of acknowledgement.
Runes, form of magic, delicate magic. So if you use an ingot to carve in glass, what do you think will happen?
It'll break.
Exactly. And he reaches over and grabs this iron ingot and kind of moves to this pot behind him,
Mm-hmm.
lifts his hand, dips it in the fire, and keeps it there for a moment. Mana has its points of uniqueness. Mana can be used to afflict or alter magic. Put your own spin on it. And counterspell. If you've ever seen that cantrip counterspell used, it's never the same type of form. It always looks different from caster to caster, correct?
Hold on, I'm sorry. I want to make a joke in character, but Orlain would not know it. Cantrip?
My bad, I meant spell.
Cantrip is the frequent ones that don't use any mana in our game, okay?
Yeah, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
I meant spell, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
he goes,
regardless.
the spell, counterspell. It never looks the same from the different caster to caster, correct?
Sure.
Why do you think that is? It's the same
Because
magic.
the person perceives it differently, I would assume.
And if I call gold gold, but you call it yellow, does it change the fact that it's gold?
No.
So perception is one half. What could affect the rest of it? Mana. And then you see him lay down this burning hot, like it's now red, hot, steel, like ingot in his hand, pick up the gold one and begin to kind of crush them and kind of shape them a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice with with those glasses still on, the fire is covering his arms and whatnot. And anytime he gets closer to his body, you see it is kind of staining his shirt because the mana's not there. I don't have a class, so my mana's pretty different. Class holders, like you, have access
Right.
to magic, like counterspell. So you have mana. Mana affects that counterspell, makes it look different than, say, Alonzo's counterspell with his weird fucking paint motif. He moves it kind of. You see him taking his thumb and pressing the edge of this metal, the tip of this kind of spike that he's molding together, and kind of carve off. You actually see the chips of metal coming off.
Mm-hmm.
For runes, runes are a blank slate, just magic into a little shell. Mana, when used in rune crafting, is like taking a pen to paper, or in your case, a quill to paper.
Hmm.
So tell me, what works better? Quill or chisel on glass, or an ingot?
I'd presume a chisel. And he kind of smirks a little bit, trying to make light of a conversation that he obviously started.
Correct. See him kind of bend the end a little bit,
Mm.
kind of creating this curve in what is now just a spike of iron and gold bound in this kind of peppermint kind of candy cane roll of things where the gold is being wrapped around a lot more, being the more predominant metal, as the red hot iron is being filtered, almost kind of like candy being dragged out for long distances around it.
Mm-hmm.
So, mana makes runecraft easy, but mana is not a mana's not, what is it called? Not Deus Ex Machina. Um,
A means to an end?
no, there's a phrase. Mana's not. Mana can't do everything. You can't use mana to stop a bullet. You can't use it to melt a blade in an instant. Mana isn't everything. It's a balance. If you've got three gold bars of magic, you need some mana to weigh it out even. If your mana's too heavy, then you've got useless fucking molten gold. You need balance. And then you see him kind of reach under this table one more time, and you realize he's not actually reaching into any drawers. This thing kind of works like a weird chest that he's just has access to, and he pulls out these this sort of long, what looks like stone, and starts to jam it in the center of where the point he made. And it is kind of filling in. So if you're going to craft runes, or if you're going to make the runes, you need to study the magic, study the paper, what fits. Floating magic's not going to work on Orichalcum because they're going to cancel each other out. Magic stone, not good for making runes. Makes them stronger, sure, but a strong rock is just a strong rock. It's not a magic rock.
What about moonstone?
Stone's rare. You can get some moonstone on your hands, you're going to have. Hell, you could make one big fucking rune.
Orlain, I think, is very bad at hiding when he's asked about something he currently owns or has seen, and he just kind of, and looks away.
You have moonstone though, it's kind of a tricky thing because you'd also need something like either Damascus or something of the moonstone itself's quality to meteorite, is that what it's called? Yeah, you probably need meteorite steel or enchanted Damascus to even carve onto Moonrock.
All right. He's not saying anything, but it's obvious he has a question.
You can ask your question, I've explained about everything.
I don't know what sounds weird anymore is the problem.
Be up to you. Why does it have to be weird?
The reactions I get are usually that of bafflement, so I presume it's quite weird.
All right. Then I guess it's weird. So what?
Half-hearted shrug. I don't know. I'd like one thing I say not to be treated as baffled in like uncertainty in the world, but it keeps happening. But regardless, he does take off the glasses because I feel like having sensitive hearing and suddenly different vision is ow. Um,
As you lift your hands to, kind of take it off, take the glasses off, do you notice anything about your own mana? Are they situated in your hands? Not? Is there a color to them if they are? What shape?
I think the only thing that he notices immediately, like visibly pausing for half a second, is that currently it looks silvery, like mercury, and just as flowing. And he just pauses. I don't think it's situated in his hands though. I think it just, for the time being, is in his hands because he's trying to summon a weapon.
All right. You summon your weapon?
That's actually what I want to ask you. He wants to show the weapon he got from Atslain, but I don't think he has connection to it as of this moment.
I can say you take the time, but we'll have to move away from this so you can actually focus and take the time to summon it.
I think he wants to at least show that he's not entirely insane about the Moonstone meteorite commentary, and just goes, I have proof of the item I talk about, but it'll take me a moment. I'm not exactly prepared.
All right.
Do you mind if I sit out on the balcony?
Be my guest. Not much of a view.
It's not the view that's calming. And smiles.
Nods.
And goes to step out, and will take the time just sitting there to shift directives.
All right. While that takes that time, Agate,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I'm assuming this is just the entrance to the temple area.
Yeah, you can immediately see inside. There's two buildings. One with a door right here, one with a door over here, but this one's sort of in front of a gravestone, so it doesn't feel like a door you should enter. This one just seems to be near the alleyways and whatnot. You do catch Rook kind of just over there.
Funny, I didn't take any of your group for... Well, judging from the way that Orlain was speaking, I didn't take any of you as the religious sort. Oh. Is Yufi EBDB for anyone else, or is it just me?
I should not be EBDB. I'm 49 ping.
I did not catch any of it.
He said the only god he believes in is a dead one.
I don't know if the gods truly ever die.
Yeah, they do. I've seen it happen. It's fucking haunting.
You have.
Mm.
And you're certain they died?
Yep. You need something? I thought you were with Orlain.
I was, but he's currently speaking with the runesmith.
Alright.
I'm a grown man. I don't need a babysitter. Nor do I need to babysit.
You need a babysitter.
Why is that?
Mm. We don't know you. You're kind of just wandering.
So it's more of a point of worry rather than, or perhaps distrust.
We gotta trust somebody to distrust them.
Do you?
Only person I trust is Orlain. Yeah. And legs.
Who or what is legs?
Oh, that's just for me to know.
Do you mind if I pass by?
Yeah, I'm not in the doorway.
Are you going to babysit me too? Just with the air quotes.
No?
Opens the door like just a sliver, just enough to peek through. Make sure that it's not like. Make sure that he's not interrupting anything.
You immediately hear Sylvan. Do you speak Sylvan?
Do not.
There is a ping from your gem.
Be careful.
Oh. Worried for me now.
Worried for your mission.
Can't I mingle with the locals just a little bit?
You have mingled, but stepping foot in the holy ground of a god or goddess will be quite the alarm. You don't want to do that now, do you?
Suppose not.
What was that?
I suppose not.
You're free to if you want. I will not stop you, but
Actions have equal
or greater reactions. If you want to wait for that individual to finish up, I'm fine with masking us until then.
I suppose I could wait, take in the sights.
Very well. Tell me, what have you learned so far?
Well, there seems to be a distrust for the gods and goddesses. They apparently use people like juice boxes.
Siphoning. The proper term is siphoning. It is a very old and forbidden act, but one that they seem to have discovered.
Be curious.
What was that?
I can't help but be curious.
Yes, well, you may not be a cat, but curiosity will treat you the same.
Satisfaction will bring me back.
Confidence. A much more worrisome thing than curiosity. Continue. What else have you learned?
Trying to think. Brain is blanking.
You can say that's it. If you can't think of anything at the moment.
Those seem to be the only really truly important things.
All right. Where are you going to wander to, though?
I might
You go.
examine the.
Focus.
Alright, yes. I might look at the wares that they have. I'm sure there's some shops somewhere in this village.
Very well. Enjoy your day out.
Too.
All right. What do you do now, Nia?
I assume Rook saw the whole exchange of Agate just speaking to nothing.
To him? Yeah, to themselves. Yeah, he kind of just. Mm. As you come up to him, he's got an eyebrow raised, but he's not saying anything.
You think I'm crazy too, don't you?
No response. Just a continued eyebrow raise.
I'm not speaking to it. The voice in my the quote unquote voice in my head responds back. It's not just I don't need to justify myself.
Blink, blink. No response.
I know I'm not crazy.
Hmm. Alrighty then. You've passed by him. He's not followed you or said anything, so. Do you
Guess
head
I'll look-
anywhere in general?
Is there any like farmers market type place?
Yes. There are two areas. There's this area over here, and this area over here. From your earlier interaction, you know that Alonzo is kind of the place you want to be for whenever it comes to like more of the shopping area.
Like shopping for general goods versus foods?
A little bit, yeah.
I will admit I'm tempted to see without going over here.
Go for it. Do what you want to. All right.
Do I get any like
What was
ping
it?
of do I get any like ping from the voice as I approach this, or is it just
No,
considered as safe?
you do not get a ping from the voice. Do you await one?
No.
All right. So you enter this place and you see this grandiose sort of items on display. A large set of mushrooms piling out of this one seemingly full sphere of black. This large crystal ball. What looks like a sort of frozen in place creature like you saw before. A large scythe that is very, very large to you, and another bulbous sphere that has mushrooms growing on it. What do you look for?
Would it be a nature roll or survival to like try to identify the mushrooms?
Nature.
I can't possibly fuck up this roll. There's no way. I believe in the heart of the cards. I should not have believed in the heart of the cards.
You always
Immediately-
forget it's supposed to be RNGesus, not Heart of the Cards.
Immediately in your mind, you kind of recognize them as like, those are edible. Wait, no, hold on. Those are white caps. Are those ones that are edible or are those ones that are instant death? Which one are those? The cap just changed colors. Oh, I don't know which one this is. You cannot identify what they are.
For the time being, I'm going to refrain from giving into the temptation to touch.
All right. You come up to this desk, and you immediately see a bell, 3 potions, and well, a mirror and what looks like a lamp.
Wait, what kind of bell is it? Is it one of the ones that you tap and it like dings?
Yes. It is not a bell that you can lift up and just ring. It's not a dinner bell.
Man. No. Just gonna peek over the countertop, see if there's anyone behind it.
There is not. Seems this area is very, very empty for what it all is.
Pause before ting.
There's a thump. A thump. From behind you.
Lovely turns around.
Give me an investigation check. Or perception. Whichever one you trust more.
I don't trust either of them. Okay. RNGesus, don't fail me now. I'm going to roll investigation.
Alright.
Jesus, heart of the cards, heart of the dice. Any gods at all that are listening, please. Nope.
Nothing looks off. And the thumping has stopped, so guess it was just the wind.
Do not, it must have been the wind, me.
Don't roll a 9. Or my bad, an 8.
Lily turns back around.
As you turn back around, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, this can't possibly go worse.
Nate, you have to stop saying that.
Oh, it was almost a 3. It was almost a 3.
Yeah, at least she rolled high this time.
You have
This
to
time.
stop Like, you just have to let it roll.
No.
You tempting fate this much is just gonna give you whiplash.
So,
Good.
so, I'm so glad you said good. As you turn around, immediately you get the fucking like, huh, the fuck? When did you get there? Of a very large individual, dark skin, kind of blue colorations, blue braided hair held back into a bun. Put the token down there.
You're
And
surprisingly
you
stealthy
have
for
no
someone your size.
oh, what's that supposed to mean, darling? Something about my size you want to point out? What
I
are you doing
sense
in
made
this
a
store?
mistake.
Oh, you made a lot of mistakes. But how can I help you fix them mistakes in my wonderful shop?
This is not me like trying to think of a response. This is Agate trying to just the just long pause. I, I was mostly just window shopping.
Do you see windows on my store out there?
Not the. It's a turn of phrase.
Not a phrase of my liking, but
Why not?
you do you. Well, I had no reason for you to be window shopping in my shop in the first place. I ain't got no windows for you to shop from. The only windows we got are on the second floor where the roofs are.
Would browsing be a better term?
Browsing to purchase, yes, it would.
What do you offer?
I offer many things. You bring me what you want to get, I'll tell you what it does. Can't tell you what it does before in case you get a little sticky fingered.
My fingers are never sticky.
Hmm. That may be what you tell everybody, but I ain't in the mood to buy it.
I thought I was the one buying.
Just raised eyebrows now. No response, just raised eyebrows.
Is this another mistake that I've made?
What do you want?
Well, what currency do you deal in?
Oh, I deal in many types of currency, but now the one you not be interested depends on what item you bring to me. This is a barter town, sweetie. We barter. Trade.
Those mushrooms back there on the
Mm-hmm.
display. What um what do I trade for those?
Depends. You buying a stock or you buying a full?
Full?
What do you got to trade?
Time. I've got nothing but time.
The only thing time will get you here is a few choice words and a boot to the ass.
If you need manual labor of any sort, if you need an extra pair of hands,
Oh, you mean labor? You should have said it like that. Well, I got more than a couple things I need done. But the problem with that is you gotta do it first, and then I give you what you want.
name your price.
There's a piece of paper I need read somewhere. But the problem is, once you start reading this paper, you can't stop. And if you read it in the wrong place, you're gonna hurt a lot of people. I want to know what it is, what it says. So I need someone to read it. But I can't have them reading it here in the city. It's my home.
What's it written in?
I don't know. Once you start reading it, you can't stop reading it.
Has someone tried reading it and stopped before?
I don't know. If they have, I'd be very impressed. But
How do you know something
Hmm.
will happen if they stop reading it?
well, if they stop reading it, then they finished reading it. Once you stop, you can't stop, and once you start, you can't stop until you're done. If you stop at any time before it, I don't know what happens. Look, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I got a
I mean,
few other things I can.
I can, but is that really all you want me to do?
It's one of the few things I can ask you to do. Would you like to hear another option?
My mom always told me to look at all my options before I decide.
Alright, I'm taking that as you want to hear the others. Well, we also got a big critter on the outskirts of town that's been quite a bother recent. It needs some handling, taken care of, and getting rid of. No questions asked, just doing it. Think you can? Or do you want to hear some more? Because the other stuff ain't that fun.
I wasn't aware that reading could be considered fun.
Well, it's the knowledge that's power, don't you know? Look, if you ain't got the stones to go hunt something or to go read a piece of paper away from here, I don't think you're gonna get them mushrooms unless you got something to trade.
I never said that. I never said I didn't have the stones. How far away is the monster?
Couple miles.
I'll take
Free to
both
be
the paper
exact.
and the monster.
No sorry, no sorry. You pick one and you get one.
The monster then.
Alrighty then. She puts this folded piece of paper away and pulls out a little map scrawled up. Once you open it, it'll lead you right to where it goes. So take it and go.
They do take the map, start turning around to leave, pause, turn back around. I never caught your name. I'm sorry, that was incredibly rude of me.
JD. You can call me JD.
JD, I shall return shortly.
Good.
Just want to make sure that was JD, not jaded, right?
J period D period.
Cool.
Like the Heather's character.
Horrible
who?
reference. Don't worry about it. We'll tell you after.
All right.
All right. With that, we'll pop over back to Orlain. Orlain, do you think now enough time has passed that you would have been able to summon the weapon proper?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then. After this, we'll move over to another group, the other group finally, and so you go ahead and you have the ability to summon up. All right, so you go ahead and you have the ability to summon the sword. Do you just go ahead inside and go and do that, or do you do anything before?
I think when he summons it finally, it's like a jarring feeling of the first time he summoned this fucking weapon, he was pissed off. And every time he summons it now, it's just that recollection of what pissed him off in the first place, and it's just and the jarring feeling of I'm not mad right now, but it's like an echo of rage, and it's just that's unfortunate. Like that kind of feeling.
Yeah, I get you.
So it's just a head shake, taking a breath, and it's standing up. Still in the same outfit. I don't think it's like fully one-to-one shift. He's not mad, so he's not wearing anything related to Paladin, but and just steps out. Still there?
Yep, I'm still here.
All right. Here. I was given this by he pauses. A friend. And
He
holds out
reaches
the
out
blade.
to touch it.
Mhm.
Yeah, as you hold out the blade, he reaches to touch it and he kind of stops himself and goes, "Summon weapon."
Sort of.
Anything I need to know about it? It's not gonna bite me, is it?
I don't know. I only used it when I was true and well heaved. Now I am not right now, but I can feel the echo of that.
Well,
He does pause a little bit. What was that?
that was me saying well, realizing it was the wrong voice, and then my body decided now's the time to stretch. So you're free. Go ahead.
He pauses and goes, I believe the maker of the weapon would be important information, but uh, I've tried that twice now and gotten a baffled "I don't believe you" response.
Free to try.
From what I recently learned, my friend is a Titan, and he made this for me when he brought me to the moon. And he stops there for a second.
Thought the Titans were dead.
I didn't know they existed until he got me.
Kind of rude.
Hmm. He apparently needed me at my angriest.
You got ruder.
It's not like I would have particularly paid much attention. With the every other voice in my head might have gotten drowned out. So I can see why, honestly. Anger kind of sharpens the focus just badly. But yes, I do have Moonstone and I think Meteorite in this weapon.
One more time.
He just said that at least believes that the weapon is made out of Moonstone and Meteorite.
Set it down. And he'll move out of the way and let you set it down on this table-like placement.
I should recall for everybody, this is the King's Greatsword remastered TM. It is a fucking claymore, dude. It is bigger than him. So he actually has to manage trying to do so. And he's just like, "How did you fucking wield this thing, dude? It is bigger than you." And he's just like, "I've heard it before. Don't start." You know that energy. But he does set it on the table.
Kind of examines it for a minute. And he just kind of after examining it for a small bit, he kind of looks at you. This is not Moonstone.
Oh,
This is Moonsteel.
and there is a difference.
Yes.
He just takes a breath. It's a little bit of annoyance of like, it's hard to see who it's directed at first, but he's obviously just like, I didn't ask a single fucking question, and I'm realizing that.
You see, Moonsteel is Moonstone, but how do I put this? You remember the ingot thing I was explaining earlier? The ingot and the sword?
Yes.
Moonstone is, once it kind of, how do I explain this?
I have an
Moonstone has a solidifying temperature, Once it reaches that temperature, it becomes a steel-like object, moon steel. So if you heat, it's kind of like heating up sand.
Just remembering his talk with Noctis
But
about
since, you know,
he's superheated sand. I don't want to think about it, says Noctis. You're thinking about it, says Orlain.
Hey, Dane, hey, Dane, stop saying shit. That doesn't exist here. No. Yeah, no, it is. It is much like adamantine. It is I still suffer. The elf went to the moon. There's whole moon lore, dude.
Going to steal the moon. Anyway.
Good fucking luck. Have you seen wrestling?
I have
But
in person.
uh after a bit, he kind of explains like once moonstone is superheated to a certain point and it cools down into a more steel-like substance. If it is molded when it's heated up like that, then it's closer to meteorite steel. But this is, I can say with God honest certainty, I believe that a Titan did this. And he'll take the little golden iron thing he motioned before and point out where there are literal still crater, like that kind of crater material that you can see from the moon from a distance.
Mhm.
That's moonstone.
And then he moves to the edge, moon steel.
All right.
It's I can't explain this in any fucking smithing terms. Somehow it is incomplete, two different materials of the same material that is technically impossible, but
I
you've
mean,
got me
yes.
stumped. I don't know.
Yes, because I think he was a little tired. Just blink.
I don't want to know what I don't want to know what tires a I don't want to know what tires a Titan. I'm good. I'm good.
It's all right. It's between me and him.
This I'm just gonna call it material. This lunar material is what I'm just gonna call this because it's not fully moon steel, it's not fully moon rock, and this is clearly some sort of magical weapon underneath it. So I'm concerned. This is more like grafting, like there's an old thing that Nameless was talking about. Um, healing broken parts with gold.
Ah, yes, I've heard this term before. I don't remember it off the top of my head, though.
Yes. Well, it's essentially what it looks like is, and he motions to the hilt of the blade.
Hmm.
You can see there's still some of the blade underneath, so it's grafted onto the actual blade, like the blade itself is the tang holding together a secondary hilt, but there's no hilt. This is another blade.
Well, yes.
Kind of like yeah, more like a parasitic or symbiosis type thing between the three materials I'm seeing now.
Do you think it
This is
has
giving me
anything
a
to...
headache.
I
But
apologize. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that I couldn't use the original weapon?
maybe your mana may have been.
I'm going to Dane, give me a moment and I will explain how this works, and you're gonna hate me,
but it'll at least somewhat quell that dwarvish anger into something proper. But maybe I've heard that sometimes people with classes have, well, I best I can say is they're the S part of a magnet and their weapon is the N part of the magnet. It's opposites trying to push together. Secondary means can be used to kind of flip one side or the other to make it combine proper into a closed area, but this kind of feels like that, but and you see him like pull out a larger set of the glasses you were given, put them on, and kind of stare. I see the blade underneath. It's curved, it's mimicking the blade that the moon material, the lunar material, is symbiotically attached to, but it's also kind of melted away to provide more stable points of keeping it all together. Practically, it is an odd-shaped weapon that shouldn't work, but the flow of magic from the hilt and the actual steel underneath is feeding off like a reactive loop from this lunar material.
So what
We
you're
need.
what you're telling
Oh,
me is that this is breathe and just reaches up with a gesture of calm, calm, calm. And he's
like you've give me an insight check. What's your passive insight actually?
I think it's 16. Yeah, 16.
Yeah, that's enough. This isn't like anxious. This is him. This is like, oh, he's autistic and you just provided a conundrum before him. You need to heat up Moonstone for 7 weeks straight, uninterrupted, for it to become Moonsteel. Even an ingot of Moonsteel. It needs to be constant magical fire of a degree and temperature, steady, uninterrupted, nothing can change it. So these markings of Moonstone still there. And he kind of takes a step back and looks at it from a different angle. The fuck?
Yeah, I was only up there
How
for
did-
like a minute.
How you said a Titan did this? How'd they do it?
I wasn't fully paying attention. I was busy with something. Uh, but I took from me, I think, the blade itself, and then proceeded to kind of, hmm, I think it was superheat
You want to
it.
roll a hit? You want to roll a history check?
I can. This is mostly Orlain forgetting,
Okay.
but I'll roll. I don't think he would forget as easily as me trying to futz with my notes would present.
I remember it because it was a very funny thing and it was very quick and just simple, and it's going to scare Dane a little bit.
Mm.
I saw him unmute. Oh no.
I was just gonna say, I also don't think Orlain would be paying too much attention to it. They might have been more focused on the conversation they had with Atslane during when that was happening than actually
Yeah,
focusing on the process.
the conversation. That does raise a good point. The conversation plus holding the moon together for that small period while he did what he did. I would say if you do want to roll a history check to see if Orlain has any chance of remembering, I picked up a bag of chips, you dumb fuck. Calm down. It would probably be a higher DC.
Mhm.
Yeah, not to give you disadvantage or anything. I just wanted to add that point.
Oh,
No, it's all good.
would we notice? Roll if you want to. If not, keep going.
No, wrong, incorrect. Thank you, dice.
You try to remember, but then all you begin to remember is the strain of those ropes around your wrist, standing on that platform as Slane talked. He did have, for a majority of it, he did kind of have his back to you, so maybe it was something that happened while he wasn't facing you.
I don't fully
But you can't
recall. I was a bit busy holding the moon together. And he says this a little quieter than the other phrases he said.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not gonna ask about that. I told you I didn't want to know, and I don't want to know. Fuck, Nameless is gonna have to contact you. And he kind of motions to one line that he like points out a line on this blade. This is Moonstone, and then here's Moon Steel, and he kind of like in a little bit he goes, Stone, Steel, Stone. It's only there in 4 little groups.
Do you think it has anything to do with this is gonna sound a little old, but do you think it has anything to do with and he snaps a little bit, I'm just trying to recall. Nameless mentioned the whole champion business. Do you think it has anything to do with that?
If you're a champion, I imagine it'd probably be something like that, but I don't know. I don't know what champions do. Nameless rambles very quickly, and sometimes he'll slip into, you know, Elvish, and I don't speak Elvish.
Simply put, how much he said that the Titans are the Brazier and champions are the Flame or something like that. It's a lot to take in right now.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, it looks imperfect, like it's got these imperfections, but none of these imperfections I can see are. None of them are actually imperfections. I don't know what this weapon is. You have a mystery of a weapon here.
Do you want to
And
examine it?
I don't think I could. I'll have a stroke if I try. And he offers you the little gold and steel ingot thing, pointer pen like thing he's been using and kind of motioning at. Here.
Uh, awkwardly takes it, or just like, why give? What is?
Filter your mana through that, and that's a proper inscriber. For runes. It won't
I
work
don't.
on. That's for medium to higher tensile strength items. I'd suggest glass or a genuine quill for lesser tensile strength items.
He does a little kind of
Still staring.
happy bounce of like, yes, yes. It's almost like a. This is gonna sound really silly. A wizardly excitement of you have given me a thing. I know a thing. I can do the thing.
He motions to the other workshop area, which you immediately recognize the workshop type area. And he goes, "You can try it out on some of the steel in there if I can keep looking at this weapon, because there's something I see something. I need to make sure it's not that."
Sure. Just be wary of her, I suppose, driving yourself a little bit too close to mad. I'm already there. It's not fun. You don't want to be there.
Oh, you know my limits.
I don't. And
And
walks
that
away.
and that's where we're actually going to cut from this group and move over. But first, we're going to take a little 5-minute break. So go ahead and pause recording while
Oh,
I set
son
the
of
other
a
map up.
bitch.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Robin drooling.
I think that was English.
Nope, it was not.
It sounds like something, that's for sure.
You ready, Taylor?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, after such a long time, you guys are on this map. This is more just a overall map that you guys will be using pretty soon after, but you guys are moving towards the area that the crow has spoken to you and like explained like, oh god, I don't remember the crow's voice.
It's been too long.
How did the crow sound? I don't want to be screechy voice because I know that could get annoying. Uh, uh okay. Taylor. Nope, Aurelia. My bad.
Starting off strong.
Oh, yeah. Aurelia.
Oh, that's
The bird speaks to you as, you know, you're the one that can hear it at the moment since it is resting upon you. Up, up, higher, higher. Motioning and, like, moving, like, pecking in the air towards this large mountain range that seems not that tall, but just enough that it's probably going to be a hike. So do you share this with the group and like kind of start motioning towards that area?
Obviously.
All right. The black feathers, this kind of dark, oily raven keeps close to you as it's like, this one listens good. This one is friendly, friendly. And you can hear all of this as it speaks to itself. Friendly, friendly. Very good, very good, very good. As you all start kind of moving up this incline and this hill more than anything else, the white snow and starts to become more brown with the rocks that jut out unnaturally, but somewhat naturally. It seems like from a normal standpoint, this is not a normal set of jutting rocks. This is not a leading up to this mountain range, but for the way that it is surrounded by plant growth and these trees, it feels normal to them. Do you do anything, talk to the others, check in with them, or you just follow the raven's instructions, which is pretty simple?
Probably just
Yeah, where are the
follow the bird
ravens?
for now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tryphon, Dein, do either of you do anything on the as you continue upwards?
Where's it pointing us right now?
It is pointing you about northeast, up, like, and leading you to a trail that seems to be more like an animal path trail. Like, something of large stature has walked this path a number of times. And it is, every time it comes like a sort of split in the road, Aurelia does kind of convey left, right. It's saying left again. And basically saying, like, follow these paths that animals make rather than forging your own path, as it is safer for a reason.
Can I see if there's any other animals that walk the path? Like, not only do big predators, but also smaller critters.
Give me a survival check,
But
because you'd be
let's
looking
see.
for tracks.
Primarily correct, yeah. You said survival?
Yes.
That's a +6. But I'm probably gonna roll a 1. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that's not bad. 6-9. Nice.
There's maybe a
Got a
couple
50.
jackrabbits that rush through here. A couple bayfoots, which are essentially just rabbits again, but with magical source of like, oh, if these things kick you, it hurts because their hops do a small bit of like force. Poof!
Okay.
You can tell kind of from the small, tiny, itty bitty paw prints that are in the snow craters.
Mm-hmm.
The
From the Hydra footprints.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe a couple deer tracks as well. Nothing you can define from like a specific type of deer, but they are deer tracks.
So it doesn't look like the Hydra's displaced any other natural critters around here. It looks like there's no other faded footprints more than anything.
Give me an
It's just kind of
investigation
like
check for that.
oh, that's an that one's an investigation.
Oh, hold on, I'm
Okay.
on.
Oh. He went poof.
Better?
Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Fine.
Yep. Just give me investigation for those.
That's an 8. So no.
You don't see any, like, you know of, you remember what the Hydra looked like, correct?
Yeah.
It
What was it?
looked-
Dane did the entire mirror thing, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
he has a pretty decent idea.
You saw it looked sort of human-esque, and seemed to just be kind of dressed in a cloak of or sheet of some sort, and it morphed into like this little snake appendage, unnaturally and appropriately. It was kind of in that same memory. It was taken. A shot was taken from Rhinell, alluding to him having seen what you guys are looking for. But you do not notice any slithery kind of tracks where a prominent snake or large paw print of a Hydra would be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Do either of you guys, Tryphon and Aurelia, you guys want to make any rolls for this at all? Or do you want to just trust Dein?
I can make an investigation for seeing if it affects if it affected anything. Or at least I
Rels?
sure can try.
I'll pass.
Alrighty.
Let's see how this goes. Oh shit,
ooh,
21.
nice. 21.
So, you describe how you do this. Actually, how do you stumble across the thing that you're looking for? Well, you see, I'll say at first you kind of catch Dane looking around doing all this, and decide to help out. What do you begin to do to kind of change what he's been doing?
Well, I don't know what he's been doing exactly, but Tryphon is getting a closer look at the prints.
Dane was looking for specifically he was looking for the Hydra prints, seeing how fresh they were, and then comparing it to the other tracks around them to see how fresh they were, to see if because what was it? During their travels they could have easily seen if what was it called? If there was any weather about and so forth. Basically he's trying to compare tracks to what was it? Their excuse me. Their indentations in the snow and surrounding fauna, basically seeing what actual like animals were here before the Hydra got introduced into the ecosystem and after.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty thorough way to check for that. Tryphon could just
Yeah.
be
Dane
getting
could
a
have missed
better look.
Yeah, I was about to say Dane could have missed a lot of obvious factors. Dane was looking for like he could have been easily hyper focused on smaller predators, like I was hinting to earlier, or smaller prey, I should say, and those could be a very not consequential factor into what's been displaced in this ecosystem comparatively to the predators, to a Hydra of all things that needs to eat a lot more to maintain its regenerative factor. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
All right.
Fine.
So, Tryphon, with that being explained, do you kind of like follow behind him a bit, try to see if he misses anything?
Yeah. looking, see if he misses anything. Looking for more than just differences in the smaller things as well.
You find a print, a single footprint, small, thin, humanoid, covered up almost like on purpose, covered up in the edges of a larger kind of animal's footprint. And you kind of notice like there's one print, two print. Every print that is left behind is kind of what you're looking for is purposely taken in something else's footprint. So it'd look more like a groove in these larger things rather than their own standalone footprint.
Interesting.
Which, given that as your investigation roll, that is a clear sign of advanced intelligence. Do you share
That's
that with the others?
Yeah, he shares it with the others. It's just like it's been walking in the other animals' footprints.
That's not good. First thing Dane wants to. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, he was just gonna say it means we've got something smart here.
Yufi, just to make sure, those humanoid footprints don't look like Rhinell's, right?
Nope. Rhinell is wearing shoes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, just because, like, I don't know, Rhinell could have gone through there before and known how to cover up their tracks.
True. But Rhinell is wearing shoes, and from a quick kind of cursory glance, you do notice his foot size, shoes included, would be much bigger than the footprint provided. Like, imagine, I'll say, like, the footprint embedded would probably be like a size 6 or 7. And then his is, like, closer to a size 11.
So we're dealing
He's
with
a
just,
tall,
like,
lanky
a straight-up
fucker.
smaller person.
Yes.
Okay. So... noted. But the Hydra seemed like it was a lot bigger, correct?
It did, yeah. Maybe it
There
can change
are-
forms?
That would be scary, but not unheard of with its... how Hydras are. I would not put it past them to be able to shift forms as well. I don't like this.
Rhinell is like kind of taps on your shoulder, Aurelia.
Trying to look at the guy.
He starts signing to you. Do you understand sign language, or do you want to give me like an insight check or a wisdom check to see if you can?
We established last time we ran into this dude, Aurelia doesn't understand sign language.
Then he starts signing to you, and he's like, kind of signs a quick motion or two, and he goes, pause. As if waiting for a reply. Do you kind of like remind him?
And almost visible question mark above her head, and just, I still don't know what you're saying.
He holds his hand out and like waves over, like in the motion of like, give me your hand. He, like taps
The
his palm
bird free
into, like,
hand is offered.
he takes your hand, and I'll say he's giving you the help action. Roll me insight with advantage. As he begins spelling common letters in your hand to translate what he's saying.
Oh, glory be.
Well, I accidentally rolled it in the
That's okay. I
D&D
keep that
Beyond,
open.
but
Oh.
18.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's absolutely enough. He asks you a question. Are there creatures? And like he's kind of pausing every once in a while to walk with you, so he doesn't kind of inconvenience you to stop fully. That can do that here? Question mark. Yes, it takes at least like 3 or 4 active minutes because it's like doing this, and then he like trips a little bit, like that kind of thing. He's like trying to focus on several things at once. Like, okay, I can do this. This is simple. I can't speak, but fuck.
Incredible.
Yes. But he does sign. Again, he does. I say sign. Spell out. Are there creatures that do that here? Question mark.
Shrugs. I genuinely don't know.
Scribbles in your hand. Scary.
Eh.
Even though he does like scribble that in your hand, he has this big smile.
Can a Hydra shift? Oh, this is concerning. Tryphon,
Yeah.
what's the possibility of there being morphlings in the area?
It should be low. We took care of them back at the base. On the train, remember?
That was a cluster of them, yes. But we also experienced some when we first entered up here. Just kind of roaming about in the wild around where Galen, we first met him.
Quick check. Is it knowledge that when we defeated the main one, the morphling sort of went bleh?
Yeah, it was a hive mind thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, Tryphon will remind Dane of that. It's just like, but we took care of the prime one, remember?
True enough. I'd still keep an eye out for them, just in case. It's a lot
yeah.
smaller.
I mean, changelings are things that exist, don't they?
Rhinell
I've never
nods.
met one.
They do exist. Don't have a memory of meeting one.
Rhinell again is gonna have to take like 2 minutes and just start scribbling in Aurelia's hand again. One at, and this is where he kind of takes a moment and goes, you all hear him sigh openly and audibly, and then he takes the moment to scribble Arch Din. And it is an ARCHEDEN.
I'm guessing Dane sees him just spelling shit out in Aurelia's hand.
Yeah, because you were deep in thought. He probably didn't want to bother you, so he tried to sign to Aurelia, realized the problem, and now he's just been more or less like holding Aurelia's hand with his finger on her palm for a minute now.
Right now, you can sign with me as well. I can think of a few things at once.
He takes a moment and goes, signs. You're everywhere. But here. Are there things that can grow and shrink around this place? What is and you see him have to physically sign out the words morphling.
As far as we know, the morphlings around this area are not extinct, but are definitely very much weakened. We eliminated the primary morphling, therefore turning the rest to a more lesser form. But I am not confident in that they have not crowned a new ruler for the hive mind, and
I
it is
don't
very
think it works
possible.
like that.
If they work anything like bees, they can.
I don't think they do.
I highly doubt it too, honestly.
I will not leave anything out of the rulebook of this world.
Rhinell signs. You have the advantage on knowledge.
We have the perceived advantage on knowledge. Correct. Yes.
He replies by signing, I've been here for a month. Maybe less.
I've been alive for a few months, so give or take, we're on equal ground.
And shrugs. In agreement, like one of those like, nah, you're right.
Alright, and I guess we'll just continue following the Raven. Dane will just try and keep a passive check on how fresh the destruction of foliage or displacement of snow is around them. Basically, just kind of looking for how hot on the trail they are of the actual Hydra.
As you keep following Aurelia's lead, eventually you don't have to kind of follow the lead anymore, as you all, no insight or investigation check needed, you see small footprints leading off from the trail directly up. There are these stone areas right here that kind of lead you guys a certain way, and I'll move the bird over here so I can have right now closer for the close-knit group kind of vibe. These two stones kind of leading out as seems to be a summit of sorts over here.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? It just did not register in my mind.
You are at a flat summit on this large hill. You have reached sort of like where
Oh, okay.
all not flat, but like you have reached where most of these rocks that have been pointing up are reaching their peaks. They're not going to grow any higher this year or any time within the next couple thousand. They need time to kind of build up more, and like ecologically speaking, they're going to be. This is probably what it's going to look like for a while. And these tiny footprints led up from here to where you guys are now.
Okay, so we're more following the tiny footprints now than the actual like the destruction of the regular Hydra size.
Yeah, there were no more larger like it had gone off the path made by the larger animals.
Okay.
And it had purposely gone up here where you notice there are not many creatures, big or small, that seem to be treading up here.
Are we high in altitude, or are we just like generally in a dead zone?
Give me a wisdom check.
And I say that more of like okay, are there signs of animals that are around, or is it just plants?
Just plants.
It's just plants.
Just plants up here.
I'm not too high right now, but so so it's just an ecological. Okay. I'm still gonna do that wisdom check just to see if it's like an ecological dead zone or something like that. Even though I know there's trees and shit about. Nope, that's not working. Um. Okay, so nothing along those lines as far as Dane could tell. It's just like a weirdly quiet zone, right? Just quiet.
Too quiet.
Yeah. That's
Very,
the,
very
that's the-
weird. Yeah.
I know I just said it's a very quiet zone, but can Dane hear anything? Like any obvious signs of life other than what's around him? Like what's like directly around him?
Give me a nature check of some sort, please.
You got it. Watch this be my one good roll of the night. Oh crap.
No,
Nope, that ain't working.
absolutely not.
Dang.
I forgot to add the bonus to that and everything, but yeah.
Oh.
What's up?
You realize, wow, these rocks look familiar. Look up. Fuck, is that fucking muscle man gonna appear again? He showed up last time there were a lot of rocks like this. Motherfucker. Like, you're making sure Rokrin doesn't arrive, as for some reason the anxiety of like, this is too fucking weird. Oh, fuck, is he gonna come up?
When you
That's
said
going
muscle
to
man,
appear.
all I thought was regular show. All I thought was
Okay, this is definitely where me and Dane's part ways, because I thought Randy Savage.
Damn.
Okay, so yeah. You know who else likes these rocks? Exactly. Okay. Back on topic. Basically,
Yep.
this feels. We're in the right place. That's for sure. So where are the tracks leading? Just like for visual aid, like down this way, down
Are
this
you
way.
looking at the ground to try and see all the tracks?
Yeah.
No roll needed. You can't tell, because there's a bunch of the same tracks overlaid, rounding about all over these areas, like someone has explored every inch of this area over here.
They're everywhere.
Okay, that's concerning to say the least. Do they look like they have singular offshoots? Like, is there an area of where it's like the most overlaid?
No, but give me a... This would be your tracking again. Give me a survival check.
Rival? Yeah.
Yeah, because you're trying to find the exact
God
tracking.
bless.
It's
A
what
10
we
works.
rolled today.
It just does not like me.
A 10... Motherfuckers, a 10 works. You do see occasionally some points where there's these kind of deepened tracks just stop, and then there's a like a curled puff of where something laid down. And then it's like got up, and you can see them kind of scattered, but you do notice with the 10 and how obvious they are, you do notice a pattern. It's always in these shaded areas that you can just kind of barely make out. Anytime there's a shaded area from, because the sun is actually important here, there is one of these sort of areas of like poof down.
Hey Yufi, I have a question.
Yes, buddy.
What does it smell like around here?
Big inhale. Do you want to take the time to get that answer, or do you want to, like, just roll for it?
I'm mainly asking because my first instinct is to find a feed pile.
So, okay. I'd say that's investigation.
Okay.
Would that be appropriate with
gotcha.
you?
Yeah,
Looking
that's
for,
fine.
like, a specific area?
Because if it's intelligent, it has a place where it dumps all the rotten meat that it does not consume, so it doesn't infect its home place. And this is obviously where its home place is probably located. And if we can find a feed pile nearby, then we know we're directly in the right spot because it's an intelligent species.
Right.
That's not bad.
First thing that hits you when you kind of like, what does this smell like? You take a deep breath in and you go, I was like, shit. First off, oh, not good. But do you like kind of move around
That's
and try and
actually
get more
good sign.
smell? Yeah, try to get around and get more
actually-
smell and whatnot.
Can I ask something?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I roll a disadvantage because Dein is just his sense of taste is completely fucked, so his sense of smell is completely fucked. I'd rather willingly take the disadvantage just because I know my character and I know his sense of smell is completely fucked.
All right. Then go ahead and roll with. I'll say roll again, and if it's this is lower, then you're taking that one. But
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
a lot lower.
god.
big,
Two
big
in one
inhale.
session.
Yeah,
Very
it's a
big
2 in
inhale.
1, but it.
Y'all smell anything? You don't smell nothing. It smells like nature to you.
It smells like it's normal.
It smell. It kind of reminds you of home. No, but no.
Yeah,
There's no smell that gets your attention. Aurelia, Tryphon, do you guys want to try to make any rolls or do anything?
What if I try to visibly find the food pile? The feed pile.
Sure, you can do that. Do you want to take time to look for that, and then try like kind of guarantee that you'll find it if it's there, or do you want to like try to roll for it?
Let's time to find it. That sounds like the smart idea right now.
Okay, so you're taking the time to find it. You can move around certain areas. I'll just highlight your token and stop you. Aurelia, what do you do?
I don't know.
First with the bird, look for tracks, look at kind of like want to see what these two are doing and see if there's anything that kind of catches your attention.
I mean, she's been watching them do stuff. She's in charge of the bird right now. She's waiting for someone to tell her.
The bird at this point has been like, here, it's here, here's here, partners here, partner here. So you do know you're in the area. As right now, kind of just gently reaches to go grab your hand and start scribbling again.
I mean, she's
You let
gonna
him?
let the poor man do that.
Scribbles. What are they doing?
Looking for something.
The beast?
Shrugs.
Question.
I don't know.
You could call out and ask.
You could tell her before you wandered off. Affectionately, bitch.
Freaking autistic. He's not going to think.
That's not a lot of characters are. That's not a defense.
Dein would
It's a bit-
assume Aurelia would be able to figure out what they're doing, looking for signs or at least proper ideas or concepts of what the fuck is going on in this quote unquote den of the beast. As
She figures they're looking for something relating to the creature. She's just not entirely clear on what.
Mhm.
All right. Really, just kind of keeping the bird and Rhinell essentially company. I'll stop you right there, Dane.
Oh, okay.
Tryphon,
Yes.
you do see a pile of food. I don't have a PNG for a pile of food because I didn't think you guys were going to do that. That's on me.
Expect
I
the
could
unexpected, motherfucker.
Sorry,
look, I
I've
can't
hunted.
drag and drop. The only thing that there's not like a PNG, like free PNG picture of food just like right in this area right here is because I can't drag and drop images to here. I have to upload them into the asset manager and then do it. So I'm going to draw kind of. Oop, that works. Yeah, right here is that golden area pile of food.
Oh, so Dane would have probably saw it like right here when he was moving up.
Yes, and that's when I was like, they both are about right there. They can just see it. The only reason Dane probably couldn't is because it's not a lot.
He's
It's
blind
not a
as
big
shit.
pile. It's not. He's blind as shit. He needs glasses for real, for real. But it's also not a large. Damn, not that funny. Wonderful that you guys think that, but thank you.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't coughing because it was funny. I was coughing because my chest went. Bzz.
Yeah. But from Tryphon's point of view, you see it a bit more in depth. It doesn't look like much because it's in a hole. It is the surface shows where the food is, but you, from where you're standing, can kind of see there's like an indent in the ground where it's trying to kind of like filled in with the snow still, but the food is on top, almost like a form of refrigeration, as it is nothing but animal meat.
Yes, yes. Sorry, as someone who hunts animals, kind of, what was it? Not frequently, but like regularly. Like, I know seeing this. Ah, yes. Okay, you found the right spot. Good.
Just like,
Okay.
well, confirmation that it's here and intelligent.
That is both scary and reassuring.
Do either of you share this with Aurelia, or is Aurelia still by the entrance waiting for you guys to pick her up with the car?
Yeah, no, Tryphon
Mom
does
told me to
double back
wait.
around.
Mom told me to wait outside the store. She'll come pick me up soon. She didn't forget me.
Just like,
A
well,
genuine thing that happened once. My grandmother abandoned me at a Walmart.
oh my god. But yeah, Tryphon doubles back to Aurelia and Rhinell, and it's just, well, it definitely is living in this area. And it's refrigerating its food.
God, I'm not an idiot. Okay. Ooh. By the way, Yufi, you said there's like a bunch of like little poofs of snow, where, like in these shaded spots and stuff. Yeah.
I said it was from your roll. I said it looks like it's where something laid down.
Yeah. Is there any indication of how long, they would lay down there, or no?
Enough to let snow around them settle, and then disturb again as they move.
Okay, so if it was able to... I'm guessing there's like little bits of ice and stuff around them because the snow melted underneath them. And then
No.
refroze later.
No? As far as you can tell, whenever it puffs down, it doesn't hit the ground with any heat.
Okay. Noted. Thank you. Sounds like it's literally sleeping as solid as a stone. Okay. So, we're in the right spot. We saw its feed pile. Or at least, I saw its feed pile.
I saw it too.
And it seems to rest here for a little bit in the shaded areas. I don't know where it is right now, but I'm not going to assume it's going to be out for long. What is... Did the Raven say it had a name? Sorry, it's been a minute.
The Raven, I don't believe it said its name, or if it had a name.
Okay, because... What was it? I was about to be like, it would be extremely disrespectful to just call it the Raven. Has the Raven spoken of anything around here, Aurelia?
It says its partner is nearby, but I can't seem to get any more specific than that.
Hmm.
So it knows it's nearby. Does it know it's still alive?
I would assume so. Looks at the bird.
What was the question?
Does it know if its partner is still alive?
There is sort of a moment, and it kind of ruffles its feathers and kind of ruffles. And you guys can kind of, Aurelia, you recognize this ruffling as the owner of an owl bear. This is the ruffle before a caw. As it kind of continues to ruffle and like it's about to let out a loud caw. Do you let it happen?
Yep.
It screeches out a caw, and it echoes. And then there is a muffled return caw somewhere within this map.
We can't pinpoint
And then-
exactly where the sound is like originating from.
It is too muffled to be pinpointed.
But it is around
but-
here.
Yes, it is around here. And Aurelia, you get the bounce, little hop. And then it kind of like finally stops and holds on you. It's alive. Okay.
Yes,
Here.
the bird says his partner is alive.
Precious
A good.
alive.
That's
So
good
let's
news
take a
at
look around
least.
for the Raven.
I'd agree, yes. Just as a precaution, if the Hydra comes back, I'm going to set up a glyph of warding at its feed pile. So do not approach it.
Alright.
And Dein is gonna go and start doing that. And he is going to start
your glyph
casting-
of warding the food pile. What glyph? What spell are you putting on the warding?
I'm just making it a glyph trap, so that if anything interacts with the food pile, it takes 5d8 thunder damage.
All right.
And that takes an hour to cast. So Dane's going to be doing that for a minute.
Alrighty then.
Tryphon's going to start looking for the other bird. And he does mention to Aurelia, I'm going to take a look around, see if I can find the other one.
All right.
Right now, it's going to tap you, Aurelia. And then just
Turns to look at
scribble.
Rhinel.
Yeah, just the scribble. What do we do?
Wait for something to happen, I guess.
Thumbs up. So, you start kind of the hour tick to set up the glyph of warding on the food pile.
Mm-hmm.
And Tryphon, you are taking the time to investigate everywhere on the map to see where you could possibly find this bird that is muffled or not.
Yeah.
Mainly muffled, I mean, not. I don't know why I said or not.
Let's see. Will Rhinel search as well with Tryphon?
Yep. Just give me a second. I forgot to make another raven.
Don't worry, you're good.
I had to make one and just turn invisible. If asked, Rhino will, help search.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you ask him?
Yeah.
Dane is currently, yeah, I was gonna say.
All right. Rhino will pat Aurelia's shoulder, thumbs up, and start moving to help Tryphon look for everything. Aurelia, do you continue to wait?
I mean, yeah.
All right.
Hey, Yufi.
Yeah, bud.
Can I do a retroactive action real quick?
Sure. What does that mean?
Retroactive action is basically just like, before I started casting Glyph of Warding, can I make sure the Raven is not in the feed pile pretending to be dead?
Of course. Go ahead and make that roll.
And he is going to ask Tryphon to help him because he cannot see shit.
Tryphon will help him with that.
Do you want to roll each individually, or do you want to roll with advantage?
If you're gonna help Tryphon move closer.
Yeah. there. And roll with advantage, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know about your rolls tonight.
Well, no, I was asking, do you want to roll with advantage?
Oh, do I want to roll with advantage?
Yeah.
I'll make the roll. What do I
Please
need to roll for that? Perception, investigation, what?
Investigation, because you're looking for the bird in a pile of meat.
So rolling with advantage. Ooh, nat 20.
Let's go.
No, the bird is not in there. But you do find another thing. You move aside some of the. You move aside, kind of like kind of clear out some of the meat, looking for making sure the bird's not in here. Let's ensure the bird is not in here.
Mm-hmm.
You see a snake with 3 eyes, pale white, and it has what is clearly a plucked chicken in its mouth. Is staring at you, staring at both of you, and it slowly tries to slink back, chicken still in its mouth, into a hole that you realize the meat had been dug to. And it's trying to just kind of, you don't see me if I don't move fast enough. I am white as the snow, even though I'm in a pile of red. I am white as the snow.
Dane's gonna just quickly just like ritual cast speak with animals.
Okay.
By chance, friend, you haven't seen a raven about, have you?
Hey, Tryphon, you ready? In perfect
I'm
calm, and it
ready.
replies, "No, I haven't seen the chicken."
No, not chicken. Raven. What? How did I? The snake speaks common.
I have perceived that now. Yes.
It starts to put the chicken. It starts to put the chicken down. And the moment it kind of sets the chicken down, opens its mouth, it is going to make a roll to immediately escape. Back into the hole it is slithered out of.
God, that'd be so
That is a 19 on the dice. It is gone. Unless you guys can beat a unnatural 20.
Not gonna try it. There's no reason to.
I don't think I could.
Just...
Well, that just happened.
That indeed just happened. Dane is going to take the partial chicken, I should say, and just like put it next to the hole that it escaped into, and then just kind of slough the meat back over it. Just like, I'm just gonna ignore that. Continue casting my glyph of warding.
Tryphon's going back to looking for the raven. Calm,
Nothing
motherfucker.
ever happened. I did not just see a danger noodle with 3 eyes. I did not just see a danger noodle with 3 eyes.
Why does it always have to be snakes?
Listen, snakes are cute as hell, alright?
They are.
I feel like
Especially Hawknose.
I feel like gummy bears. Like gummy worms.
Oh man.
Hey, Tryphon,
Yeah.
you kind of turn, and you hear a whoop. Do you turn to that noise?
Yes. Oh. Oh dear. Oh. No.
And you look at the snake that you saw earlier, and you realize all of these other serpent heads are about the same size and like height. And the one you saw earlier goes, "It's the goat from before. No one move."
That's not going to work. I can still see you all.
This one right here kind of just goes thunk. Of course it can see us still. Let it back here. That wasn't smart. None of you are smart. And the small figure that has footprints and they thumped, it kind of sleeping in a bush, is staring at you with shaking eyes behind the sheet. And it dawns on you. They're not small, Tryphon. They're young.
He puts
Damn it!
his
I
hands
wanted
up
to get it out
like,
before you said it.
Damn it. I'm sorry. That would have been hilarious. But I will say, openly, this young figure does not seem connected to the four-headed creature that is kind of laying up against where they are.
no, he does
This
put
larger
his
one
hands
kind
up
of
in the...
they kind of move to like kind of corral and coil around this one figure.
Tryphon does put his hands up in the universal "I'm not armed" kind of motion. It's just like, look, I'm not here to hurt any of you.
Well, none of them are armed.
God.
Dane, take
Dane,
1d12
I
of
wanted
damage.
to get you.
It's fucking hilarious though.
Fine, Yufi got you one.
Let's see. Oh, okay.
You don't actually. You're fine.
But yeah. But yeah, it's just like, I'm not here to start a fight or hurt anyone. I'm just looking for a raven.
And you hear the muffled "Coo! Coo!" from your immediate left.
Yeah. And he doesn't quite turn his back to them, but he does sort of shuffle over to where he heard the cawing. It's just...
The minute you get about right here, this one shoots out from the body and kind of stops you and gets in your path. Our prey. Not
You
your
have a
food.
whole pile of food. I'm not looking to eat the bird.
That is our food. This is
Why
her
do you
food.
need it? You have a whole pile of food. Why do you need this bird specifically?
Food. That is our
Is
food.
there none?
It's her food. And you're getting
Is
nothing
there-
else from this.
Yeah. It's just... just deep breath. It's just like, if I can get her food, will you let me have the bird?
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
How far into the process is Dane casting Glyph of Warding?
I'd say you're about maybe 59 minutes in. You've been doing this for a bit now, dude.
The same
that-
damn number.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought that was double ones for a second.
No, thankfully it's double sevens. Not much better, but does a 12 get me anything?
No. No.
Damn.
You get, it does not get you anything, and you get like this genuine thought before no. And it attempts to push you back a little bit, like kind of wiggle its body like a push.
He does take a step back. He's trying to figure out how to get around this without starting a fight. And it's just, I really don't want this to go badly. But we do need the bird back.
We're gonna take a pause real quick.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I need to go grab another drink.
How's everybody's? Is Discord fucking up for a couple of y'all?